Hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, the IG's not working. We're just gonna go live on YouTube, man.
All good, bro.
Okay.
Matter of fact, why? Well, actually, no. We'll do it on yours. So you want to do it on YouTube? That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, let me. I would have just went live on my IG, but it's cool. I'm about to. I got the link. I'm gonna drop it right now. Just give me like 2 seconds.
Okay.
I see. It's good on YouTube, so I'm about to. I'm about to drop it here, and then we can get it popping. All right, look how it's working. And everything good on yours?
Yep.
All right.
Ain't nothing I can do this. It was good, Michael. How you doing? We about to get into it. Right. Just give it us a couple more minutes. We about to get into it. Is it good on your IG?
I didn't post. I just like posted a link to the talk. I ain't
Okay.
gonna go live or nothing. You know what I'm saying? We'll just on the next one. We just go live on IG. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we're just gonna do IG, bro. We're going straight on IG.
Yeah, let's keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I can't see the chat on YouTube, so you gotta just let me know questions pop
Okay. I got you. We got a couple of them.
up.
It should pop up on your screen. You can see it now.
Oh,
You
okay,
see it?
okay, I see him. I see him. Yeah.
Unless you just want to just strap and just go on IG.
Nah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
this
at
is
this
this is
point.
your. It don't matter, bro. We can go straight on IG. We can. Let's just let's just keep it on YouTube since it's working, and we can just keep it moving from there.
Okay,
I
let me
just
know when you're ready.
yeah, we good. We good.
Chris Hepburn. Good to see
Oh,
you, man.
that's the homie. That's the homie right there.
All right. You ready? Or
Yeah, we good.
okay. So let's get into it now. Welcome to the Tech Woke channel. On this channel, we talk about cybersecurity, career, and life. I'm Chris. This is Nigel Boston. Good experience in cybersecurity, cyber intel analyst, has done it all, vulnerability analyst, everything. So, what's up, Nigel? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? Happy to be here. Appreciate the work you're doing, sharing this knowledge on cybersecurity as well, man. For real.
I appreciate you. I'm trying to get you to post more on here.
I'm
So,
gonna
so
get
t-
to it. I'm
yeah,
gonna
you're
get
gonna get to it definitely. So tell me, Nigel, what you been up to, man? I remember we did the podcast a couple months ago, but tell me what you got going on now.
right now, man. Honestly, I'm back into my like real student vibe. So I told you a couple weeks ago I'm studying for my CISSP right now, and I've been just pretty much locked in on that. I've been doing a lot of training, like just learning a lot of stuff. I guess I'll drop a little nugget too. I've been doing a lot of training on the red team. So if you're not familiar with the red team, that's the offensive side of security, right? So like ethical hacking, red teaming, penetration testing, the real cool fun stuff. So that's where I've been at. That's where my bag's been.
Now I feel you. The red team, big deal, man. Coming a long way. Did you ever think you was gonna get on this side, or?
Nah, honestly, I mean, just being in cybersecurity in general, right? Once you get in, like the path that most people talk about is a blue team, right? Being a SOC analyst, right? Working in a SOC, like a security operations center. And once I got into it, like that wasn't even a role that I was like looking to get, right? So when I got into cybersecurity, threat intel, like the intelligence part, kind of intrigued me, right? Like, what are the bad guys doing? What are these adversaries, these threat actors are doing? So that was the kind of the path that I took. And then once I got into my bag, really, these past couple of years, the red team was just like so much more like fun. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm just like, networking with like, red teamers, penetration testers, figuring out the engagements that they do. I'm like, damn, I want to do that.
Yeah, that's what's
So
up.
yeah,
It made you extra paranoid now. I know you don't use Google now, so and he be like, man, forget this, man. Trust me, I probably you'd look at the world in a whole different way now.
100%.
Yeah. No, I did want to get into it, man. There's a lot of information. It's kind of somewhat misinformation online. Can we talk about so can we talk about some of the misinformation on cybersecurity now? What you been hearing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So cybersecurity right now is a buzzword, right? A lot of people are seeing a lot of probably ads like, "Hey, you can get into cybersecurity and get this six-figure job," blah 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 blah. And the biggest misconception about cybersecurity to me, basically, is that cybersecurity is an entry-level job, right? Like cybersecurity is like being able to be an associate clerk at like Publix or something like that, right?
Facts.
That is not the case. What is interesting about cybersecurity is that there's something called the CIA triad, right? I'm sure you're familiar with that. And one of the biggest things in that triad, as far as confidentiality, integrity, and availability, is the integrity part. So if you have these like cybersecurity gurus telling you that, hey, I can get you into cybersecurity in 6 months if you take this course or do this, they're basically not being very ethical, and the integrity is in question. Because while there are, maybe some instances where people get in a short amount of time, me being an example of that, but it's definitely not the norm. So if someone's trying to sell you that, I think that's a huge misconception. Cybersecurity is not entry level. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it and be like, oh, you can do this, this, and this. There are steps to take to get in a role, but it's definitely not something entry level. You have to understand data, privacy, how computers work, um, being up to date on what's going on in the world. There's a lot of facets of cybersecurity, and a lot of people think it's very small, like it's like tech. Like, no, cybersecurity is a part of tech, and it's one of the most important layers of it. So,
Yeah, because even with you, like you said, you're the 1%. You was able to get in a year, but what people don't talk about, you worked your butt off for an entire year. You didn't probably go to the club, probably didn't drink, probably didn't do nothing. You was probably just studying for an entire year. Am I right?
yeah, for that year was basically I was like locked in. Like I had a book that was given to me. It was basically like the CompTIA Security like 401. Like it was like I think they're up on
That's
701
ancient.
right now. Yeah. So that one was really old. And basically when I got that book, I went on YouTube and I started learning, man. Like I was really hands-on. So the biggest thing too is like people want to be like, okay, I want to get into cybersecurity. What's the quickest way for me to get into cybersecurity? Cybersecurity is a mindset as well. You don't want the quickest way to get into cybersecurity. You want to get the most skills. What can I learn that makes me high demand? Do I understand what Splunk is? Do I know how to code? Do I know how to do vulnerability testing? Like, you want to gather as many skills or tools under your belt so you're more marketable. And that will that will be the quickest path for you getting a job. So during that time, that year, that's what I was doing. Like, I was like Batman. I was putting everything under my belt. I was learning everything. So when I did that, it was strategic, right? So I was working like at a warehouse or whatever, and I was like, man, I need a career. Like I need something that's going to, pay money and give me job security. Well, I got it. So what I did was I took a pay cut. So I took a help desk job. So I seen in the chat someone was like in the help desk, right? So
No, we put it
I
up.
took a pay cut. Yeah. So I was a help desk starting GRC. So many dollars. Okay, I'll get to that question. So I took a pay cut. I did help desk, And in 8 months, I was able to transition from help desk to a junior level cybersecurity analyst in threat intel and vulnerability management. So it was very strategic. Like once I got my job as a help desk analyst, I made it known what my goals were. Right, like I'm not staying here. This is just my foot in the door. So that's what happened. So once I got all the skills and I got my first job in tech, I started to pivot and kind of transition into a higher role. So I'll answer this question. I'm gonna help this trying to get in GRC. Should I wait to get Security Plus first or start applying for GRC jobs? So yeah, GRC, just so the crowd doesn't know, GRC is governance, risk, and compliance. So I think that's the field you work in, right?
Yeah, that's the
And
field I work.
yeah, so Security Plus, I would say like the Security Plus is like the holy grail of, not the holy grail. It's one of the stepping stones. It's the most known certification in security. So I would say you should definitely study the material for the Security Plus. Do you need to take the test, get the certification, and kind of have that like, oh, I'm good to take a test? Yes, it could help, but learning the information and be able to talk to it in the interview is better, right? So anyone can take tests. If I just studied a whole bunch of practice exams and brain dumps or whatever, yeah, I can pass pretty much any test. But are you able to speak to that during the interview? So if they ask you something about governance risk compliance, do you know the NIST, whatever NIST we're on right now, right? Do you understand these frameworks? Do you know what PCI is? Do you know these other things that are very important in GRC? Not just, oh, I took the Security Plus and I passed it. So I would say you should definitely learn the information in that certification because it's going to give you some of the tools you need in GRC. But go use open source. So in Intel, we use this thing called OSINT, right? Open source intelligence. That's basically just searching on the web. All the information is out there. So if you learn the information that's needed for GRC, and then in turn, a lot of that correlates in that certification, you'll pass the certification and have the skills you need. So
And I agree 100% with Nigel. Just get the skills first. Everything you said, learn the frameworks, even poems. Just learn how to do a poem. Go on cyber.mil, learn about STIGs and how and what they are for hardening the system, things like that. So, and this is going to be a segue to another topic we're about to get on, but you just learn the skills more. And just to get back on that, I agree with you 100%, Nigel, on learning the skills. What's your thoughts on boot camps also? Do you think you have to go there, or can you just kind of, like you were saying, open source?
um yeah, I'm gonna give another unpopular, you know, opinion. Boot camps are just like, I don't know what they're called. You know, it's like very expensive private colleges like that give you like technical or like like boot camps essentially give you a lot of information in a short amount of time. That is it. They give you structure and all the information that may take you a 4-year degree, or if I was to grab all the information you need to learn security holistically in a short amount of time, but you're paying a lot more money. So, or half of what you would pay for like a college, right? Boot camps are like 15, 20 racks right now. And personally, everything that's going to be in that boot camp, I can find it for you open source on the internet. Everything. I'm talking about the syllabus, the homework they're going to give you, the labs, all of that is already on the internet. So I stress that people who are trying to get in cybersecurity do research first. Find out what's intriguing to you. Do you like, doing analysis? Do you want to work in a SOC with other team members who are going and doing investigations? Do you want to do a lot of paperwork? You don't want to be very technical, so you maybe want to go to GRC route. Do you want to just like go into systems and make, let me word this correct. Do you want to go in systems and figure out what's wrong for the defensive people, and you want to do attacks and stuff like that in a safe environment? So that's red teaming. Like, what do you want to do? That's the first thing you need to do. A lot of people reach out to me and say they want to get into cybersecurity, and I'm able to gauge how serious they are about how much research they've done beforehand, right? So you just come into me and say, I want to get into cybersecurity. My follow-up question is going to be, what do you want to do? And if you don't really know what you want to do, that tells me you haven't done that much research, and then you probably saw an ad saying you're going to get a 6-figure job soon. So
I agree with you 100%. and I'm living in the DMV area. I see a lot of people. They're spending $5,000 to $10,000 going to a boot camp. I think we was talking. We was talking,
Hey,
Nigel. We was like, your boot camp is Chat GBT. You can use Chat GBT to
yeah.
create your boot camp, man.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's funny you brought up AI. Just really quick. So yeah, and just so y'all don't just test it. Say on this is called prompt engineering in generative AI, right? So all it is doing prompts. Like you can ask Chat GPT anything, but we can get two different results based on the prompt that I ask it. So if I said in a specific way, I want to know and get a fully developed bootcamp 10-week course on this subject, I can do that, and I just did that for free. And you're gonna pay 20 racks for some boot camp that's going to tell you they're going to, get you a job in 6 months and assistance and all this other thing. Like, and I'm speaking for someone who went to a boot camp. I did a boot camp. I did a boot camp at a time when I was very early on. And what I realized all it did was give me structure. The information that they taught me was already out there. All it did was able to structure it for me. So I was able to learn blue team stuff. I was able to learn how to use Linux. I was able to learn how to code. I was able to learn red team. I was able to learn what reconnaissance is, persistence, all these things that, the actors do in a structured way instead of me just like YouTubing everything and all over the place. So boot camps give you structure, but like I said, generative AI can do that for you now. So
Yeah, because even with GRC in my area, they charging like 5 to 10 bands just for a GRC, and all they do is literally read the NIST guidelines and go through every step.
that's
And
crazy.
yeah,
I can literally
literally.
I can type that up on the internet right now and find that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, but it's all about the skills. You can learn the skills, and then also, and this is another thing Nigel did. He documented the skills on LinkedIn so everybody can see. Can you talk about that also, Nigel?
Yeah. So if you're trying to get into cybersecurity, right, you have to think. A lot of people who are in cybersecurity have been in that role. Uh, your audio coming in. It's not so bad, so I'm gonna go. But can you hear me though? All right. Look
Go
like
ahead. You can hear me now.
yeah. All right, we good. All right. So documenting your work, right? So what I was gonna say is a lot of people in cybersecurity have probably been in that role for a while. They've been in the industry for a while. So you're going up against people who are probably a little seasoned and have experience and skills. So what you need to do to market yourself, right, is as you're learning these skills, there's platforms like Try Hack Me, Hack the Box, Cybrary, and once you're learning these skills, you need to like record it. Like you can screen record your screen as you're doing these labs, and obviously these are like safe environments. There's no like risk or anything. But as you're doing these things, you're able to like market, like screen record it, save it, post it on LinkedIn, and be like, okay, hey, I just learned how to use Splunk. I was able to put these queries in, boom. So when recruiters are looking at your page, so LinkedIn is your Instagram, right? Like recruiters live on they live on LinkedIn, and they're not just like looking at your like they're looking through your posts. They're seeing if you're being interactive with other people in the field. Like I have a lot of recruiter friends in tech, and they tell me they are looking at your posts. Are you engaged? What are you doing for the community? Like are you posting? Like are you commenting? What's your interactions like? They're not just looking at your resume and stuff like that because that is your Instagram. Like LinkedIn is your highlight reel, right? So you need to post on there if you get any certifications, if you're learning new skills, and network. So I'm like a gem is if you want to get into cybersecurity, figure out what domain you want to get in. GRC, intelligence, vulnerability management. Go on LinkedIn in the search bar, type in that role, and you'll see people Click on people and start following every single person in that role. I don't care if you know them or not.
All right.
Just follow them. Follow them, send them a message, or they might send you one back and be like, oh, I see you're trying to get into cybersecurity. Let me know how you can help. Or you send them a message, develop that relationship, and now you have people in your network. So if they see you post like, oh, I just got my CISA, right? Oh, congratulations. We actually have this opening up for a junior GRC analyst. Congratulations on getting your certification. That is way easier than you just going applying for 100 jobs every day with your resume, thinking that your resume is the best one on earth. No, like build relationships, network. That's what I did. I networked. I followed a whole damn near every person you can think of in cybersecurity, and I had people reaching out to me, saying congrats on whatever I was accomplishing. Right. So that's one way to kind of put your name out there. I
Yeah,
know it's
that's
a very
straight up.
long-winded answer, but yeah,
Nah, that's not wrong. You gotta give them all the information. You never know. Hey, the more the information, the better. Because, like you said, I talked to a lot of these people in the tech field, and they're willing to help. They're willing to help you. But as long as they see you put in the work, they'll help you even more. I just interviewed a guy, Kevin, 19-year-old dude. He has a
Mhm.
security plus. He's learning Python, all the good stuff in cybersecurity, and he documented on TikTok. And I was like, listen, dude,
Yeah,
I don't. You're not
yeah,
fully in the field yet, but I just want to just get you now because I know you're gonna be big time later, and
100%.
just build a relationship. And if I have the opportunity, and it turns out he lives in where I live in the DMV. So it
Mhm.
turns out if I see a job, I know that he's able to. If he's not able to do it now, he can do it later.
100%.
So yeah, so
100%.
and
Yeah,
so
man.
you gotta document the journey, and then also too like just to dive into vetting influencers, how would you vet tech influencers? I know going on LinkedIn's one, but how would you do that to make sure you're going to the right person?
Um, yeah, I would just take a look at their I would take a look at their history, their work history, maybe some of their accomplishments, like what is their credentials, right? And from there, I would also gauge the kind of content that influencer is putting out. Like I said, cybersecurity lives on integrity is one of the main facets of the foundation of it. So if you have someone like I said guaranteeing you anything off rip, that's not probably possible. If
It's not.
they're you know what I'm saying, like if they're telling you, hey, after you do this 10-week course, pay 20 bands, I'll get you a job in 3 months. Unless it's a job at their own company that they know they have an opening for, I don't really, what I'm saying, seeing that. But like I said, there are ways for you to get a job quickly, but there's other steps that need to be done. Networking has to be done. You getting high demand skills, not skills, but high demand skills are important. And then also you need to put yourself out there. So not just networking on LinkedIn, but going to conferences, going to B-sides, you know what I'm saying? Put yourself out there, shake hands, you know what I'm saying, rub elbows, whatever they say, and just be like, hey, don't be like humble, like be a student, like, hey, I'm trying to get into cybersecurity. This is what I'm doing. This is what I've accomplished. Can you help me? You know what I'm saying?
I got you. So the first step is basically find out what you want to do, learn the skills what you want to do, then start meeting the people that's in the domain which you want to get into, and slowly work from there. Is that what you're saying?
100%, 100%.
Yeah, that's some good steps. And then also too, it's just so many myths in online too. We talk about it, even the salary ranges. Like when you're starting off, like we said, it's not entry level, but you're not gonna be making 100K. And if they did pay you 100K, they're gonna be trying to. You gotta have the skills to get that type of money out here, straight up. Yeah.
Yeah. The pay is good, right? Depending on location and job title. But like I said, not everyone in cybersecurity is getting 6 figures. I would say on average, and I'm saying entry level, but I'm saying like a security analyst one is probably making between 70 to 90K, right, on their first job. So it's definitely a good starting stone. but not everyone is getting a job in cybersecurity and making six figures. Can you do that? Absolutely,
You can. You can.
100%, 100%. But you have to be in high demand. You must have some high demand skills. If you're getting a job, you know what I'm saying, and depending on where you're at, location, because I see a lot of jobs like on the West Coast in Cali and in New York paying six figures off some like security analyst one job, which is cool, but the cost of living is obviously higher in those places. So, um, but it's doable. Like if I have no job experience in cybersecurity, but I have these skills. Like I'm damn near a Splunk admin. I can script on Python. I understand vulnerability management, threat intel, and I know GRC. I'm probably gonna make six figures on my first job.
Facts. And that's off of just skills. And you like and like you said, the certification is probably not always going to help you.
I didn't have. Well, I did. Actually, I had my Security Plus. Okay, so I had my Security Plus when I interviewed for my role, my junior role, but I didn't get one question about like. So when you took the Security Plus, did you know what cryptography was? And like no, like all those questions you're about to ask or get or answer on that certification, you're not going to be asked in the interview, right? That certification is for the recruiter, and it's called an ATS system to get you through quicker, right? So if you have certifications on there, it's going to get you past that system quicker based on the requirements. But if you want to get past quicker, you can just network and follow some recruiters at that company, talk to them, or some people on that team at that company, and there's your ATS system right there.
Yeah, because even with me, I applied for like almost 200 to 300 jobs, and I'm in the GovTech space. I have a security plus. I have a security plus. I have a clearance at the time,
Okay.
and I would just apply to so many. I think like 200 jobs, and then like you said, once I found out what I wanted to do, then I
Mm-hmm.
started learning the skills that like for GRC, I started learning the skills like poems and like you said, talking to people that's in the field, and they started helping me, and then help me with the interviews, and then
Right.
that's when I finally got that one job out of just skills. They didn't really give a hell about the security plus. Even to this day, they don't really care. There's
Yeah.
people that got like 100 certs. They don't know nothing in my job, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the
Yeah, man.
certifications were like my mentor had told me certification should be a byproduct of your learning throughout your job history. So just imagine if you learn the skills and you can speak to the skills in an interview. So if they ask you scenario based questions like what would you do if you saw this in the logs, and you know how to answer that, when you take the test, that's going to be on there. You're going to know the answer. So you should learn the skills, get the job, and get the certifications and make your company pay for them. That's what I did. So, just learn the skills and network. I'm telling you, like, if you just do those two things, you're ahead of the game because everyone else is trying to learn certification or get certifications, which is good. They're going to learn the material, the methodology, but are they going to be able to speak to that in an interview when you're sitting? Because most interviews are like you're gonna have a technical round, right? And usually that's gonna be with like an engineer or architect or whatever, and they're gonna ask you some questions like, "What would you do in this scenario?" And that's not gonna be on the Security Plus. You're gonna understand the terms, right? You're gonna know when he's talking about like cryptography, or he's gonna be talking about DNS and all these. I'm getting my nerd bag now, but all those things. But are you gonna know?
Don't go too in depth. You're gonna confuse people. Don't go too in depth, man. I'm trying to tell you, just slow it down. Slow it down a
Yeah,
little bit. Yeah,
but
that's a whole different conversation.
yeah, but you're not when you learn those skills on these platforms. Like try hacking is what, like $10 a month. Like try hacking, you can learn what an everyday security analyst does every day on Try Hack Me. They have everything on there. So spend the $10, learn those skills, then get the cert.
So we got a dime. She said, "So true. I transitioned from healthcare. They never asked me about certification. Yeah, they don't. They don't care. They just care
Yeah,
about what you can do.
thank you. I'm not capping. I'm telling you, I didn't get one question asked.
Yeah, they don't even ask about my degree. I was like, I went and got a cybersecurity degree, right? And I'm looking at them, and they're like, "Yeah, I got this degree. I'm about to get me a job." They was like, they didn't. They to this day they don't ask about my masters. They're like, "Oh, okay." They don't even ask about my bachelor's. They don't ask me about my certificate. Well, they have to because in the GovTech space you have to have it.
Mm,
But all they ask me is, hey, what would you do if you were in this situation, or have you did this, or have you wrote a policy? That's all they really care about. They don't give about that stuff. But I would still recommend people get your degrees, and I'm gonna never discourage people. But the
mm.
main thing is the skills we're trying to emphasize on.
Dang, they said they can't comment in the chat. Hold
Oh,
up.
they can't.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Is it on IG or?
I guess on your YouTube. I didn't go live on IG tonight.
Okay, I'm not sure. What do I do?
Oh, they said they can now.
Oh,
I
they can't
haven't.
now.
Yeah, but since we on it, like, so what made you want to get into cybersecurity?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just wanted a better life. I was in the GovTech space. I was in the GovTech space. In GovTech, not. I'm sorry, not GovTech. I was in the government contracting space, and I always wanted to get into some technical field. I wanted to get into coding, things like that. But the environment I lived in,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't encouraged that I could do that type of stuff. To be very honest with you, so I was like, I kind of grew up in the street life. I
Mm,
wasn't in the streets, but I was looking at them, and I just didn't think, from the environment I is, I didn't think I was capable of that. So I just got a major in criminal justice. I always wanted to get into tech and stuff like that, but I
mm,
just majored in criminal justice just to be safe. And then once I transitioned into the government contracting space, I've noticed that my career is kind of in a dead end. It's just whatever's open, I'm keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. So I was like,
mm,
okay, I need to go transition into tech. And from seeing other people in tech, and I'm glad that people like yourself are posting now. I didn't think I can get there. I didn't think minorities or people that look like me can get into the space. But then I was like, okay, I was determined to get into it, and I wanted to thrive in a career, and I chose. I always wanted to be a hacker. I'm still working towards it to get into the red team, but that's kind of what made me want to get in. I just want a stable career where I can get a decent amount of money to take care of my family, take care
mm.
of myself, and just take care of everybody. And once I got in the field, at first I did it for the money, but once I started working in the field, I realized that how we are our career, we have to really protect these systems. You see all these attacks that's online, or these taxes, all these businesses. So it's really serious. Like if something goes wrong at my job, the first person they're gonna come to is me because I didn't do my due diligence. So I really take my job seriously, and that's why I do it now.
That's what's up. That's what's up. What do you think was the hardest part for you getting into cybersecurity?
It's just there's no information. You gotta there was very few influencers at the time, so it was like back then. I think around when Security Plus was really popular, you can get a Security Plus, you can get an AWS cert,
Mm,
and once you get those, you can get those and just get a job instantly because it was a requirement.
mm.
But it's just we didn't really have a career path. Like I said, I applied to almost 100, 200, 300 jobs, and they didn't really specifically say how do you get these jobs. So
Yeah, yeah.
that was the difficult part.
Okay, okay,
And you wanna answer this question, and then I'll get you real quick.
okay. What's the most rewarding part of your career so far? Oh, um, work-life balance, and the money, obviously, but the work-life balance for sure. Being able to kind of work, not kind of, be able to work remote, being able to be on such a kind of, I don't want to say lax schedule, but like not uh, micromanaged, right? So I kind of work in sprints. I don't know if you're familiar with like it's called Jira. There's a tool called Jira, and essentially I don't have like daily tasks, right? I have like projects that I work on, and I have a certain amount of time to work on these projects or whatever tasks to fulfill. So the kind of balance, and I don't like clock in or anything or nothing like that. So like the balance, the work life balance is very, 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 very important, right? I don't feel stressed. I'm not waking up every day doing a job that I hate. I really enjoy what I do. Like I said, the balance between what I do on my personal life and what I do at work is it's probably too balanced, but you know what I'm saying? It's very important. I think that's the most rewarding part. And then at the back of my mind is knowing that I'm in a field that has one of the most, if it's not absolute job security, but it's definitely not going nowhere. right? Data has is always going to need to be protected, right? So um, being able to get into this field and having that balance is really important.
Yeah, I agree with everything Nigel said. In the career field, it's very lax. Once you get into it and you understand your job, and it's more freedom. And like you said, you don't have a strict schedule. It's kind of like you get a project, you work on a project, and you get back to that person. But for me, the most rewarding part is when something is secured on my end and I'm doing all the due diligence to make sure, because I work with a lot of government systems, and to make sure I'm
Mm,
doing my due diligence to make sure there's nothing that somebody not allowing something to affect the system, or me putting things in place to make sure the system is properly documented, things like that. That's the most rewarding part for me, just to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence to get this process going, and it's rewarding to me.
that's what's up. That's what's up. He went with the political job answer.
You never know who watching sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I
But the money good. The money's good too. You know.
yeah. I mean, this is why, and this is back to what you were saying. There wasn't a lot of information out there, right? So this is what's really important to me. So I would say this is what's important to me now is be able to spread the message to, you know what I'm saying, people who are close to you and people who are out there who want to have that, right? Understanding that you may be in a career field now that you have transferable skills to get into cybersecurity and you'll get paid more money, whatever field you're in right now. So I like to use an analogy. If you're in sales, selling cars, I would transition into tech and sell tech. Whatever commission you're getting on the cars, I promise you, at minimum, you're doubling it in tech. So look to transition. Do y'all have any thoughts on opening your own data firm? Uh,
I don't. I can't speak on that one.
I mean, I don't really have any thoughts. I would say if you're looking to do like consulting or open up a like practice in cybersecurity, that would be dope. If you're able to develop a tool. So like I'm saying, if I got a group of friends who all know how to script, are very good at software engineering, we can develop a tool that's very similar to some of the tools that are out there, and we're able to consult and license these out, right? That's something I would do. Opening a data firm probably is not so enticing to me, but I mean, you could.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you could do it. I just
yeah,
can't speak on that one too much.
I see. How can those currently pursuing cybersecurity stay informed about the ever evolving field? So yeah, this is kind of my wheelhouse. So how you would do that is um, looking up different blogs. X, formerly known as Twitter, is one way. Following blogs like Bleeping Computer, the Hacker News, Dark Reading. Um, those are really the top three ones, but there's some other ones out there, and that's how you stay informed. Not only if you want to get into the field, but also what's going out in the world. What companies are having breaches, right? Ticketmaster just had a huge breach. Um, I don't know. Maybe you bought some tickets that might affect you. Now all your PII, your personal information is out there. I don't know. I wouldn't want that. But that's how you stay current. And if you want to get into certain jobs in cybersecurity, that 100% is a question. How do you stay up to date with the threat landscape? I damn near want to say every interview is probably going to ask you that. So wait. I'm giving you a gem. How you answer that is I follow a lot of the top security news, example, Bleeping Computer, Hacker News, Dark Reading, and I also have threads on X that keep me up to date on the new CVEs, the new 0 days. Now, these are vulnerabilities, right? And that's how I'm able to stay up to date. And what I do in my spare time is I get all that information, I cultivate it into my own blog, and I post it and share it with others. Boom.
That's facts. What I do, I follow a lot of podcasts, newsletters. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, X is the best, and then LinkedIn, I follow things like NIST. Check out Nigel too. Follow him. Follow me. Just follow people. They're always posting things that's keeping, like you said, the new vulnerabilities, CVEs. If people don't know what that is, it's just vulnerability. It's basically like a code to know what the vulnerability is. So things like that. So
Yeah, and a vulnerability is a weakness in the system, right? So,
okay.
um,
So
yeah.
we're going.
What did you have any mentors before you got into cybersecurity, or did you have any, or do you have any now?
I don't have any mentors. And when I was getting into cybersecurity, like I said, it was nobody really in it. It was just kind of like the Illuminati. It was just some type of secret code or how to get in. It was really nobody. But once I got into it, when I first got my first job, was when it became, like I said, I didn't do the traditional route like Nigel here. I didn't work the help desk. I had friends. Like I said, in the gov space, you have more lenient. In the private sector, straight private sector, you have to know what you're doing. So I was put on a senior level position as a information system security officer, well GRC, and I was talking to the my when I was doing my interview with my mentor, with my now mentor. I told him, listen, I don't know anything. I have the concept of these things. I don't know anything, but what I can do for you, I'm willing to work, and I'm willing to work my butt off. Right? Whatever it is, stay late, and to this day, I still work late. Sometimes I come on the weekends just to make sure certain things are done. And I said I will work my butt off.
Mhm.
And the first day I came, and then once I came there, he wasn't like a hands-on mentor. 'Cause, like when I got into cyber, I thought they were gonna like hold your hand. Because in my previous careers, I thought they used to hold my hands like, oh, this is what you do. This is how you do it. He didn't hold my hand. He was like, he just told me this is what he just say, hey, you got to create a poem. And I was like, okay. And he just like didn't. He just told me, or he'll have me follow him around and kind of like, this is who you talk. He taught me how to network. He taught me, the gist of a point. Or if he did tell me one thing, he'll just tell me one time. But it was kind of more I had to use my brain to figure it out. But if I did mess up, because I'm on meetings with some of the top people
Yeah.
in the government. But if I did mess up on a meeting, he would just either what he would do was he'll cut me off and just take over.
Mhm.
And then after it, he'll just tell me everything I did was wrong. So even to this day, I come to him every now and then. I'm like, can you help me out with this? Can you help me out with that? And
Yeah.
he still helps me to this day. So he's my mentor. I ain't gonna say his name on here, but yeah, he's my mentor. He knows who he is.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
What about you?
Um, Not really before. I would say I definitely had a mentor who introduced me to the field, right? And basically preached that skills is what's going to get you in, not a whole bunch of certifications, even though he did recommend me definitely to get the Security Plus. But I know why he did that. So I understand. But also learning skills, right? Learning how to script, right? Understanding a program language, right? So the one that I know is Python. Being able to learn soft skills and do them very well. So communicate. Are you able to take very technical jargon and break it down to the non-technical, right? That is what I do on a daily basis. I talk to C-level suites, legal teams, GRC managers, senior managers, VIPs, and I have to break down what adversaries and threat actors are doing in non-technical jargon so they understand the risk and what's going on in the world, right? So soft skills are very important. I would say too, you were talking being able to sell passion. That's it. So you're talking about not having a mentor, not really knowing how to get into cybersecurity, but when you do get that opportunity, when you speak to someone, your best work experience is going to be selling your passion, all the stuff that you were doing beforehand. So this goes back to you posting on LinkedIn, your highlight reel, your Instagram page. If you're selling your passion, right? I completed Try Hack Me for a whole week. I learned all these skills. So when you speak to that person, they're gonna be like, damn, Chris is hungry. He's been on Try Hack Me every day. He learned all these skills that I could use on my team. Because remember, they're looking at your resume to know what your skills are, but essentially people are hiring you just to see if you fit the team. So are you able to be a team player? Are you personable? Can you communicate? Are you lazy? Like, are you just want to get in because you're gonna get a whole bunch of you think you're gonna get a whole bunch of money? Like, you have to sell passion. I'm very hungry. I've been wanting to get into cybersecurity for a long time. This is what I've done. This is how I stay up to date. This is who I've reached out to. These are conferences I went to. This is how you sell and fill that gap in the work experience that you don't have. So if you don't have work experience, usually most people don't in cybersecurity, you sell your passion and you're aspiring to get into the field by doing the work, learn the skills, and not skills, but high demand skills. Learn tools, Splunk, learn how to query, learn how to look at information, data, logs. Like, learn this information because it's very important. It, I'm telling you, sometimes it's not always what you know, but who you know. But when you speak to a person who you know, they want to know what you know.
Yeah, because even me, I get tested. Well, I do this thing where I talk to certain people that's in my field, and I just try to test them to see what they know. You know, I just be
Hey,
testing them just to say, yeah, I just test it all the time. You have no idea.
I was telling you the other day, like a lot of people had reached out to me, and for like coaching and stuff. Like I don't take like I'm only specifically coaching people who are serious about getting into the field. So I'm making sure that I'm not wasting my time and you're not wasting your time. If one of your first questions to me is, I want to get into cybersecurity, and my follow up question is, what do you want to do? And you don't know, that already kind of weighs. That tells me you've done no research. You've done no research. So, um, if you want to get into cybersecurity and you come to me and say, "Hey, I want to get into cybersecurity," another thing that always happens too is they say they want to get into cybersecurity, and I say, "What do you want to do?" And they say exactly what I do, which is cool. There's a lot of people that want to do what I do, but there's other things out there. There's so many things to do in cybersecurity.
Yeah, I'm talking to a guy now. I'm just helping him out, and I like that he came to me and told me what he want to do. And
Right.
what I did was I showed him. I'm gonna send him Nigel's podcast. It's literally what he does. Because I
Yeah.
can't speak on it, but I can kind of guide you. Yeah. I did want to. So we're gonna probably go on for I say about 6 more minutes.
Okay.
People that's watching the podcast, I mean, people that's watching the live stream, please ask any questions that you want to get out there now, so we can just get it out there. We're gonna go about 6 more minutes. So anybody that's watching, just ask your questions now, or if you want to come on stream and ask a question, I put the link down below. But start asking your questions. But go ahead, Nigel. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think I think more and more people should get into tech, right? I know this podcast is specifically about cybersecurity, but there's other things that kind of correlate in cybersecurity, like system administration, cloud, right? AI, right? Eventually, there's going to be probably a small subset of defenders who are going to have to protect against AI, right? I think cloud is very important. I think even learning AI, generative AI. So what is also machine learning, right? And understanding how data models work, understand how even prompt engineering works, right? Um, all of that's going to be very important going forward. Understanding these models, understanding what RAG is, LLMs. LLMs are large language models, essentially what is working on the back end of generative AI, and understanding on how I could potentially protect against that, right? Because they're pulling that data from somewhere, right? Open source on the internet. It's already out there. So I don't know. That's just thinking ahead. I mean, I hardly write any emails anymore. I just did. I don't write any more
I
emails.
don't got time for this. You
Yeah.
got like an automation, like kind of an
Oh
automation system.
yeah. I utilize automation a lot, and I think if you're able to learn a program language while trying to get into cybersecurity, that'll definitely help you. Because learning automation is gonna then now you're getting into your engineer bag, right? So analysts are in the weeds. They're figuring out doing like the analyst work, why is something wrong. Engineers are implementing, right? They're standing up the tools that the analysts are going to use. So
So we got a naughty bodied. They said,
uh,
what is the ideal pay ranges for starting out? I'm assuming cybersecurity, but
yeah. So starting out, I would say, okay, so if you're starting out, and I'm gonna use security analyst, like a SOC analyst, right? Um, a SOC analyst one will probably start off, like I said earlier, about 70 to 90K, right? SOC analyst two is probably going from 95 to like 115, 120. And then like a senior SOC analyst is probably doing like 130 to like 160, 150, right? I'm saying analysts. Engineers are getting into the higher six figure, not higher, but like an engineer one, engineer two is probably getting like 180 to like 200. And when I say these numbers, this is like base, right? So in security, like you'll have a base, or in most jobs, you'll have a base salary, right? You'll have your salary, then you'll have like your benefits, and then what's the other? What's what I'm thinking about? Uh, this losing my mind right now, but there's
Like
something like
bonus?
huh?
Okay. You talking about a
Yeah,
bonus or?
yeah, your bonus, right? Your incentives, right? And from there, like a total comp would be higher. So like, um, okay, I'll break it down like this. A level one security analyst total comp probably is like at the very highest, probably like 90, 95. At a security engineer, probably like 130-ish, right? And architects obviously are paying more, managers, etc. But like I said, those are just like entry level. You're just getting in. Once you're able to learn more skills, you're doing your job. I mean, the sky's the limit for real. But the money's good, for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak on that too. I'm gonna speak specifically for GRC, and I'm gonna speak for specifically in the GovTech space, and I'm also going to specific for the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So I say for my position, you probably going to start off. You're going to be like between 75 and 90. I say when you get to your mid level, probably 90 to around 120, and once you get to your senior level, probably 120 to up to 200 for that.
Dang, okay.
Yeah,
That
DMV
sounds about
good.
right. That sounds about
DMV good, man.
right. Yeah.
Just expensive out here, man. Where you at, Nigel? Again, where you live?
I'm in Florida.
Okay, it's cheap out there in taxes.
Yup. Yup.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we're gonna do 2 more minutes, and if you got any more questions for us to ask, we're gonna just put it in the chat so we can kind of. But we're gonna still keep talking. But if you got any questions, oh, we got some. We got two more. Okay.
uh, should I just list the help desk on my resume so I can have more space for my projects and coursework? Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I would think, like, let's say you get the job, they're gonna want to see that information anyway, like your work history. So like, don't not put that on there. But yeah. So okay, I'll give you another gem, right? So if you're doing help desk, right? If your company has a security team, email, Teams, Slack, whatever tool y'all use, reach out to someone on that team and let them know what you're doing. Let them know what you're doing on your projects, your coursework. Get your manager involved, right? So that kind of heightens your seriousness, right? So like, hey, say your manager, hey, I'm working on these projects for cybersecurity. This is a coursework I've done. I know I'm on the help desk, but I want to get to the security team. Boom, shoot that. Let your manager do the introduction to the manager of the security team, and then boom, you kind of have one foot in the door, right? Also, as you're doing these projects and your coursework, post it on LinkedIn. Like it doesn't matter if you get no likes or one like. I'm telling you, recruiters look at your posts. Like, what are you doing? Do you just have a really good LinkedIn first page with a whole bunch of certifications you're not posting? Just based off my feedback, I'm telling you, they want to know like what you're doing out there. So yeah, list your help desk on your resume, list your projects, highlight them, make sure you word it correctly on the skills that you're learning on that project, and do internal moves. I did an internal move. Internal moves are way easier than external. If you're internal, your manager speaks to you wanting to get on a security team, and then the security team has to hire and they have to look at some random person they don't know. I mean, who do you think has a little bit of an edge, right? Let's be realistic. So that's what I would do.
Man, you ate that up. I
Uh,
don't really have nothing to say on that one.
what certification or pathways do you suggest for those interested in GRC with no prior tech experience? My apologies if you already answered this.
I could take that one. I could
Yeah,
take
go
this.
ahead. That's your bag, GRC.
Yeah, yeah. So for GRC, it's more about the skills you know. They do for if you're in the GovTech space, you need a certification. You need a Security Plus. But how I did it was I first got my Security Plus. I got my master's in cybersecurity, and I'm speaking specifically for the GovTech space. Outside of the GovTech space, you can probably get in GRC without a certification, but it's always good to get the certification. What I did, I went on Indeed. I typed in literally you can just type in GRC, it tell you what they need for the position. Nine times they're going to tell you without me looking at it. In this area, they're going to ask about the NIST guidelines. They're going to ask you about poems. They're going to ask you about risk management. How would you do it? Things like that. And what I did was I went that information I got from Indeed. I would literally type it in on YouTube and just learn the information for myself. So once I didn't say I was an expert in this stuff. I just said I knew of it and I explained that I don't have no experience doing it, but this is what I've done on my own or projects that I've done to show that I know how to do it. And I put that all on my resume and that's and just apply to jobs. But you just go in Indeed, look what the requirements are for the position, try to get the skills if you can, and also get a mentor to help you or a friend that's in the field that can help you, and then just move forward from there. That's how I got in there with no experience. I didn't even go to the help desk route.
I'm gonna drop another gem since generative AI. Whatever role you want to do in GRC, type it on LinkedIn, search it, grab the first top three at the top, copy the job description, go into generative AI, ChatGPT, Horse Pilot, whatever you want to use, or Copilot. Type in, I would like to learn the skills to learn and match the job description that I'm looking for and see what it spits out. And I bet you it's going to tell you the skills that you need for that job to learn, even though they're probably going to have it listed. They're going to tell you what the day-to-day will look like, but it'll tell you exactly what skills you need to learn. And then boom, you can go learn those skills. If you know, that's what I would do. I'm telling you, like, yeah, generative AI, prompt engineering, guys, learn it.
Yeah, and if you notice, everybody that's listening, me and Nigel, we haven't been talking about certifications. We just talk about skills. That's all they care about. It's about skills, and we've been trying to drill it to your head the whole time. Whoever been listening to us the whole time.
Certifications is to show everyone. Skills is what you have inside that you know that it validates the information that you've learned, right? So, what are business admin to cyber roles?
Oh,
That's an interesting. I think I have a business analyst on my team. So, a business admin is probably going to be like the facilitator and like kind of in the project management bag, but not so much a project manager. Um, kind of running how the day to day goes for the team, right? So they're probably like keeping up with the board if they're using like a Jira board or a Can-Am board. They're distributing work to other analysts if that's how the team functions. They're probably working really close niche with the manager of that team on goals and roadmaps and developing those and having insight into that. But yes, there are business admins in cybersecurity. If that answers the question.
Okay. Okay, I think that we're gonna start closing it out. So, Nigel, where can they find you? And then also, do you have any business you want to promote? Go ahead.
Yeah, they can just find me on TikTok at NigelBTech, and I'm gonna leave it there. Just follow me, reach out. I don't have any, like I said, I am being very. I want the people that I coach and mentor very tailored about serious people and people who want to put the work in and really get into this field. Like I said, it's something that can be done, and all you have to do is put the work in. It's a mindset first, and then learning the skills second, and then we can get the certification to show everyone we're smart later. You know what I'm saying? So just follow me on TikTok, NigelBTech. Me and Chris is gonna chop it up some more, and I'll keep peeling the layers back on the onions and give you all some real stuff. So if anyone's telling you they can get you in cybersecurity in 3 months and you pay 10 racks, their integrity.
If you're gonna pay somebody 10 racks, you might as well just give it to me.
Hey, give me your 10 racks.
Give me 10
I
bucks. Give me
can,
a donation. Yeah,
I
I'll get
can
you. I'll get you where you need to go.
hey,
You know,
these boot camps, boy, I tell you, man. But
my boy did a boot camp. He was so pissed. They literally had this man read the NIST guidelines for like 3 months, and he was
hey,
so mad.
hey, another thing is too, why they think people are gatekeepers, if you know people in the field, just ask them. What's the worst they can do is leave you on red or say no. They
I get
can they
read.
can be your boot camp. You know what I'm saying? They can tell you. Don't be scared.
Yeah, I get read on. I get read. Probably I left on red probably like 5 to 6 times a day. So it's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. When a
Yo,
podcasting game, it's hard to get people on. So
hey, just hit me up. I'll pull up, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep keeping the content authentic and real and true. Because like I said, I mess with what you're doing. Anytime you need me to pull up.
now, most definitely. And then also too, I pull up on you anytime. And guys, check out Nigel. Nigel has a lot of content. Me personally, I watch stuff just I've learned stuff just by talking to him myself. So make sure you check him out, follow him. Also for my side, I have a community I'm starting on my side called the Tech World Community. If you want to join, we have a Facebook group. We also have a WhatsApp group. I got to post a WhatsApp group so people can join, so I can get the information, so I can make sure you're not a robot before I put you in the WhatsApp community. But if you want to join the Tech Woke community on Facebook, I'm going to put in a lot of information on cybersecurity, GRC, things like that. We're a community for everybody because we're all trying to grow. I didn't have this when I was getting into the field. So make sure everybody go. It's not just about we're just talking. We're all trying to get better. Help us. And also with us, we want to network to get everybody in the community and to get jobs and things like that. So make sure you join the Tech World community on Facebook, and then I'm gonna put a link up for the WhatsApp group. If you need any consulting, I'm going to put up or mock interviews. I'm going to put up a mock interview on Friday, for a position in the GRC field, so you can check it out how it goes. If you need any coaching in the GRC field, check me out. Same thing as Nigel. I take certain people to make sure you're trying to get in the field and things like that. So check that out. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. And please comment down below. It helps grow the community. It's a growing community, and we want all of us to get better. Thank you for everybody. Thank you, Nigel, for giving me an hour of your time because I know it's very valuable. I know you get paid. You get paid some good money, so I appreciate you even coming on here. And